chocolate cookies. I'm gonna make chocolate cookies.
So, dry ingredients to make these chocolate cookies. This is 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to add my dry ingredients to this. This is a big enough container. Obviously, you can use a ball, but this is pretty big. So, I'm going to add in half a cup of cocoa powder. This is 1 cup of sugar. And you actually need more sugar than that. It's 1.25 cups. So we're going to add, 1 cup and 3/4. So I'm going to add another 3/4 to that. And then we are going to add, this is 3/4 a cup, not cup, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I know that the recipe said 3/4, but I'm using 1/4 because I am using real butter that has salt in it. So I don't want it to be too salty. So I'm just going to mix this up. And this is just going to be the dry ingredients. And obviously we're going to add the dry ingredients to our wet ingredients afterwards. So, yeah, just mix this up. Obviously, a bowl would be better because this is not, perfect. And as you can see, I was weighing things out previously to make this easier on myself, and yet I still made a mess. It's part of the fun of baking. You just make a mess and clean it up later. All right, and then I'm going to put this to the side. So I've mixed up my flour somewhat correctly. And obviously you can see that I need to mix some more because there's white in the bottom. So I'll just mix that up a little better. So my dry ingredients are ready. I'll put that to the side. Now wet ingredients is going to be butter. For this you need 2 sticks butter, room temperature. I had to stick mine in the microwave for like 30 seconds to get it to be room temperature, enough so that I can blend it. And I can't get it out. There we go. And I'm also going to use a paddle just to get the rest out because it's still a little bit under there. So we're just going to get that out. I never think ahead of this, and then I just am not. Whatever. Make a mess. So now I've got butter, and I'm going to blend my butter with a blender. If you have a paddle mixer, that's great. I don't have one, so now you're looking at nothing. So I'm just using a regular mixer, and I'm gonna blend up my butter until it is creamy, and I'll show you in a second. So I blended the butter. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. Creamy butter. And then you're going to add the rest of the wet ingredients. So this is 2 teaspoons vanilla. 2 teaspoons vanilla. Shit, I added sugar to my dry ingredients. I just messed this whole thing up. I should have blended that. Okay, well, it's too late now. So anyways, don't do that. Your sugar should go with your butter. And that was terrible that I did that. I already added the sugar. Too late. Can't believe I messed that up. Oh well. Too bad, so sad. So to your butter, and should be sugar and vanilla, then you're going to add 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. And then you blend it again to cream that together. So now I've blended my butter again with the rest of the wet ingredients, and now I'm going to add my dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. It should be relatively creamy looking, and you're just going to add in about half of your wet or dry ingredients. Again, I screwed up and I got too excited and added my sugar to my dry ingredients and whatever it is what it is. So now I'm just going to stir this a tiny bit, and then I'm going to hit it again on low with my blender to get it to start to blend, because it does get really thick with the butter. I can't speak. I'm not, like, this is, oh God. I don't know how people do this all the time. I'm not very good at it. Kudos to you for all the videoing. And I just realized I still have to add, oh no, did I add that before? Shit, I have no idea. I got all prepared for this, and I am just not doing good. Like, what? Anyways, I'm going to blend this on low. Just to start the blending, as you can see. It gets very powdery, but I just want to start mixing it. You can hear the blender is getting slower. You can see it's getting slower, but it is blending really well. You can see it's starting to get nice and creamy. Turn it off. I'm going to have to use, okay, so it's all over these, and obviously that looks kind of gross, but, so I just take silicone and clean it, and then get it out of the mixers. And now I'm going to add the rest of the dry ingredients and get this off. I probably won't use the blender again. We'll see what it looks like after I add more dry ingredients, but obviously you're gonna, if I had a paddle mixer, that'd be nice, but I don't. So you make do with what you got. Nobody's perfect. Wouldn't that be nice though? So obviously there's still more on here. And then try not to make a total mess for myself here. Get it off of this one. So yeah, we'll do that. So now, I'll probably get the rest of that off after, and just add it to the mix. But now we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. You want it to blend up pretty nice and smooth to get a good cookie, like, consistency. And now I'm going to hit again, but this time I'm not going to use the blender. I'm just going to squish it together. I'll show you. You can see it's a mixture of the wet and the dry. If it doesn't start to blend smoothly and you feel like you need the mixer, you can always use the mixer again. It's just to each their own. And depending, like if you have a hand injury or something, you might find a blender is easier or a mixer is easier. You know, you just figure it out. But this is already like pretty good cookie consistency, and you can see like if I take it out, like I can make a ball with it, so it's pretty good. And if you don't mind getting dirty, you could always also just like stick your hands in and clean it that way. Or not clean it, mix it up that way. So it's to each their own. Whatever you want to do. You know, there's nobody should judge anybody about however you want to cook. Just cook. If y'all making your own food, good for you. If you don't make your own food, go out and buy it. Good for you. You can afford it. You know, not everybody has the benefit of being able to cook or anything like that. And, you know, I think it's a privilege to know how to cook and learn how to cook. And it's fun. It's fun to do. And if you don't like it, then that's fine too. So, yeah. Looks pretty good. A little bit more. I am going to hit this with my hands. I'm going to get these clean. My hands are clean. This is for my family. I don't care. I birthed my children, so if they don't mind eating a little bit of clean, washed hands cookie, then what's wrong with you? We all ate dirt when we were younger. You're fine. So I'm going to clean that. That one's good. This one's good. I mean, well, it's going to be good. Still a lot. There's a lot of cookie on there. I want to use up all that cookie. As I said before, butter's expensive. Don't waste it. Don't waste your food, people. If you make it, eat it. And if you make it and you don't want to eat it, go gift it to somebody else. Because I guarantee somebody will eat it. Okay, so now I've got a good amount. I've been preheating my oven at 350 degrees. And it's just about ready for me to add the cookies. It just beeped. So it is ready. I'm gonna stir this up a little bit more. You just don't want any dry ingredients sitting in there. You want to make sure that it's all well blended. So this is pretty good. There's a little bit on the bottom, so I'm gonna mix that together. This consistency is similar to gingerbread, but these are indeed chocolate chip cookies. Or not chocolate chip cookies, but chocolate cookies. You could add chocolate chips if you want. I'm not adding chocolate chips to this. I'm gonna add candy cane sprinkles. Alright, so now I have a really nice dough. It's nice, it's uniform, and it smells delicious. This smells so good. It smells like chocolate, and it smells really good. And now I'm just gonna get a cookie pan and lay them out. Okay, so now I'm ready with a sheet pan and a bowl of sugar. So what you're gonna do is make little balls with your cookie dough, and I'm gonna make a little ball, and then I'm gonna roll it in the sugar. Literally roll it in the sugar, and then you're just gonna put it on your sheet pan. You could weigh them out if you want, but it's like roughly 2 tablespoons, I would say, weight-wise. And then you're just gonna do that all the way. You wanna make sure that you give your cookies space on your cookie tray to cook, because they are gonna expand. So I'm gonna do like 3 in a row, and then I'll break it out. This cookie sheet can probably fit like 12 cookies before they start getting too crowded. And you could do these in small batches. You can leave the dough in the fridge if you want. It's a pretty long-lasting dough. A couple days is fine. It's better. So just like anything else, you don't want to leave it for too long, but whatever. Whenever it's convenient for you. This really doesn't take that long to make, though. So if you're in, you know, the holiday baking mood, or just baking in general, it doesn't have to be a holiday. If you like baking, just bake. I like baking. I bake whenever. I bake random things. Just bake, cook. Everybody's gonna eat, so why not have fun doing it? You enjoy it, do it. Do things that make you happy. Because if you don't, then your life is just not as happy. Another ball. So I'm going to finish rolling these balls out. And then I'm going to pop them in the oven at 350. Okay, so now I've got a tray, as I'm dropping the cookies, a tray full of cookies. And I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 for probably about 12 minutes. After 6 minutes, so set your timer to 6 minutes. And then at 6 minutes, you're going to spin the tray so that it cooks evenly all around. And then do another 6 minutes and see how they look. If the top is starting to like crackle a little bit, then they're done. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit longer. It might be like another 2 to 3 minutes, but we'll check it after the 12 minutes is up and see how they look. This is after the first 6 minutes, so I'm just gonna spin the tray so that it gets the other side evenly. Oh no, look at that. I just fucked up that cookie. Oh well, that's fine. Anyways, spin it and then 6 more minutes and we'll check them again. So I'm gonna add peppermint sticks. We have an excessive amount of candy canes because I bought them for one, but you can't just buy one candy cane, you have to buy a box. Anyways, so I have too many candy canes, and now I'm going to actually do something with it. So I'm just going to throw them in a bag and then crush them up, and I'll put some on my cookies. Not everyone likes candy canes, so I'm just going to do a little bit of candy cane on there. You can kind of crush it with whatever you want to crush it with as you're listening to me jingle around and not look at the actual thing. So I'm going to use this. This is a meat tenderizer. I love this thing. So you just kind of crack, crack, crack. And now you got cracks. You got plenty of candy cane crunch. So you can just do that with however many candy canes you need to use. I'm going to do 2. And when the cookies are done, you're going to add the peppermint to the top of the cookie. You don't want to cook the peppermint in the oven because it will melt and burn really fast. So I always add candy cane at the end if I'm going to add it as a garnish. It's garnish, but it's also flavoring. Like, obviously, you're going to get the peppermint with it, so it's good. You can melt them down, too. You can actually use peppermint candy sticks in recipes, which I think is nifty. We're not doing that today. This is low-key. I have a day off and decided that making cookies was what I was going to do. Even though I've made many others. But anyways, this is what I'm doing on my day off. You know, I don't know if other people just don't know what to do with themselves on their days off. I don't. I'm not good at relaxing. I don't really care. I just don't like sitting around being bored. I have to find something to do. So, now I have a bunch of Candy Crunch decoration. And honestly, if you're like me, you probably have candy canes excessively in your house because it's Christmas. Well, if you celebrate Christmas, if you don't, whatever. That's fine. You don't have to. You might have a bunch of other candy laying around. But I always say, use what you have and try not to waste. I think I said that before, too. So, we have got 2 more minutes on our first batch. These cookies, you can't... I don't recommend putting these cookies all in at once and, like, timing and watching. Like, a sugar cookie you could just put in. But I find that with the cocoa powder, they cook differently. It, like, cooks faster, and you don't want them to burn, of course. So, I recommend doing it each tray individually. Don't do multiple trays at once of this particular cookie. So, we are at 6 more minutes, and as you can see, the tops are kind of breaking a little bit. They look so good, and they smell really good. Even my one that I screwed up still looks fine. So, I'm going to take these out of the oven now. So, now I've got these cookies are done, and they smell really good. And I'm going to add my peppermint garnish that I just made. So to do that, I'm just taking my crushed peppermint, and before the cookies cool off, I'm going to put a little bit on top and just squish it down a smidge. Yes, you're going to make your cookie a little less fluffy, but it's worth it for the little bit of extra cookie deliciousness. You could always use a spoon too, but whatever. I like using my hands, let's be real. The love is there. Put in your baking love or cooking, whatever it is. And if you don't like peppermint, don't do this part. I'm going to do a batch without peppermint and a batch with peppermint. Yeah, super easy. These are like super simple cookies to make, and they taste really good. And even if you mess up adding your sugar to your dry ingredients, they still come out just fine. That does not occur with every cookie. It is important to keep your wet ingredients with your wet ingredients until it's time to add your wet ingredients, because your dry ingredients need to blend differently. So, you know, don't worry about a mishap here or there. Most times you can rescue cookies. They're not that hard to rescue. Yeah. So, they're pretty. I'm at nearing the end here. And I'll do one more image. Whoever stayed this long, I mean, hey, thanks. I like cooking. Thanks for making cookies with me. Baking is a love language, and not everybody enjoys it. It can be annoying to bake, especially when you get stuff that like doesn't rise, or I've had bad baking soda. I made cookies 2 weeks ago. Well, no, I made scones 2 weeks ago that ended up being cookies because my baking soda was just, I don't know what happened. It just didn't rise. Nothing rose. My baking powder and baking soda were just crap. And then it didn't rise, so it was terrible. So now, let me just see. This is not hot anymore. So now you can see these really pretty cookies. And they're gorgeous. And they're going to taste so good. So, peppermint, not peppermint. And you don't have to add peppermint if you don't like it. Just an option. Final test here. This is my cookie. Chocolate sugar cookie with peppermint on it. Let's try it. It smells good. It looks good. Yes, that is delicious. Go make these cookies. These are so good. They're soft. A little bit of crunch with the peppermint. Obviously, you don't have to include the peppermint. But these are bomb. Not gonna lie. These are really good cookies. And there's stuff all up in my teeth. Oh well. Go make these cookies. They're super good. Enjoy.